I absolutely love my electric bike. It's amazing. The downside to it is it's not great for what this one is absolutely great at. That is hauling our kids. I love this Hovsko bike. Mainly, the sole reason I picked it up was so that I could haul 2 kids on the back. We have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they fit absolutely perfectly. And with a couple added accessories, you see these foot pegs, these foot runners, I have added those. I added a padded seat instead of a wooden seat, which I'll show you in a second. And then I added this railing around with foam padding. Tell you what, this thing was made from the ground up to haul things or extra people, and I love it. Now it has some pros and cons and some stats, and we're going to kind of go through those today. Remember, we're an RC channel, not necessarily an e-bike channel, but because I love my e-bike experience, I've wanted to share that with you guys so far. Now the price on this does fluctuate, and it's not necessarily a cheap e-bike because it is big and powerful and has an ability to actually haul a payload because you've got a powerful enough motor. This usually runs around $1,500. I have actually seen it hold steady at that price, but occasionally they'll throw in free accessories. Maybe a front mounting basket, which we actually do have, and I've just waited to install that. I want to put some like cup holders and things back here too, maybe 3D print some cup holders, but there are a lot of different accessories that you can pick up for this. Maybe you don't have young children, but you love the looks of this bike. Instead of the back seat, they actually make an oversized basket that you can put on the back as well. We have a coupon code in our description box where you can find this Hovsko for possibly picking up a couple of those accessories or maybe even a discount on the price. This comes with a brushless, very powerful 1300 watt motor, but that doesn't mean we're going to get race speeds. We're going to get a top speed on this bike of about 28 miles an hour, and I can 100% vouch for that. They claim on their website 28 miles an hour, and we have a very nice speedometer here that tells us how fast we're going continually and how many miles we actually have on the odometer. I'm up to 72 miles now. That's how much experience
I have. This needs a sunshade.
Yeah, I know. They claim 28 miles an hour, and if I'm full throttle, maybe on very flat ground, I can easily hit that 28 miles an hour. I've even pushed up a little over 30 miles an hour when riding it by myself downhill. But if you're climbing up a slight incline or something, you would be okay to expect a very constant 20 mile an hour speed on this, and it does handle hills very well. I am 6'4", 6 foot 4 inches, and I don't feel like I'm scrunched up on this bike when I'm sitting on it. It feels pretty comfortable. It's a good fit for a tall person. And the other e-bike that we had on the channel actually is made for even more of a tall person because my wife Abby struggles to hold herself up on that one. She's on her tiptoes when she tries to hold herself up on this one. This would be more comfortable for my wife. Abby, how tall are you?
5'7".
It has a payload capacity of 450 pounds, and I think that's really important to note because I am very close to a couple hundred pounds myself, and my kids are right in that 40-30 pound range each. And this bike does not struggle at all when it's got me on it and 2 kids on the back, fully helmeted up with a backpack and snacks and going to the park. It can handle all of that. Again, 450 pound weight capacity, which I think is awesome. I think the other thing that most people want to know is the range on this. When we are out driving this, we inevitably get stopped 20 times every time we're out just because it is so cool and so unique, and everyone asks the same thing: how far can you go on one charge? Now it comes with a nice charger. It is a slow charger. It takes a few hours to fully charge this bike all the way up, and we can expect, they claim 60 miles on one charge. I have charged this bike twice since owning it. So one charge was around 30-ish miles, and then the other one I recently charged it probably around 60 miles. I'm going to tell you, with kids on the back, if you never touch those pedals and you're just on that throttle, you're probably going to get 30 to 40 miles of range very realistically, again, never touching the pedals. However, you notice there are pedals on this bike. If you so choose, you can turn on pedal assist mode, which is very easy, just with the press of a button on your controller, and you have not just the full weight of the bike on your own, but you have a little bit of assistance from that motor. So if you want to get a little workout, a little sweat going, and actually get healthy while you're on this bike, which I maybe have only done for 1 mile, you can pedal and have the assisted motor. Abby likes to do that on the other bike when she's out, get a little exercise in when we're riding the bikes together. Personally, I love some of the attention to detail, knowing that kids are going to ride on the back of this. I really like that they have this plastic shield that is custom fit to the very strong metal frame here holding the kids on. This thing is bolted on very heavily. It's not going anywhere. My seat would fly off for some reason way before this back seat would. It is bolted on with 6 bolts, 3 on each side. But see this plastic paneling that they have here I'm pushing on the back? That's nice because it keeps my kids' legs and little fingers out from the spokes and the wheel that's going, you know, really fast when we're kind of cruising down the road. Even a chain guard down here on this side. I love that they really thought about kids' safety and comfort when they're on this thing too. And it's actually got a little bit of a curve there to kind of lean into the back of it. There is one flaw that I noticed with this frame. You'll notice that these are a bit loose, these inner little handles. I think when the kids get a little older, I could take those off and it would just give them a little bit more room on the sides. But for now, especially with a 2-year-old riding on this, I wanted those there. Here's the deal though. I'm not going to take this off to show you because if I do, I'll never be able to get it back on. The weld job on the inside of this pole is not good. Once I start putting the bolt in on the frame, it busted loose. And at first I thought, well, maybe it was just 1 out of 4. It was all 4. So it's unfortunate. It was just a weak weld job on the inside of all of those on the frame. These ain't your average brakes on your bike you rode when you were a kid growing up. These have hydraulic disc brakes on the front and the rear. Listen, when you've got yourself and the weight of your kids on the back and you've got to come to a stop sign quickly for whatever reason, maybe a car is coming up, you want to be able to stop, and you do. This thing doesn't struggle to stop, but of course, you know, you want to drive responsibly and not just kind of full throttle and crank on that all the time, but the brakes work exceptionally well. Now, something that my wife and I both agree was a little annoying with this when we got it, they actually have the max speed locked on this at about 18 to 20 miles an hour until you log in and register with a phone app. I don't think you should have to do that to be able to unlock from 20 to 28 miles an hour. Personal opinion. I'm sure it's a safety feature. Maybe it's a law. I have no idea, but I frown upon that very strongly. I think if you buy something like this, maybe there could be a little code you punch in so that you can unlock it for adults. I think they're trying to protect the possibility of kids riding this because 20 miles an hour on an e-bike is fast enough for a kid for sure. Now, I've already got an upgraded seat because longer rides on the included seat is a little uncomfortable. There's not a lot of shock on this thing. The rear has basically no shock other than the fact that it is a fat tire, and the kids have a nice pad here, but when that was a wooden seat, it was a rough ride. For me, there's no shock until you get to the front. There are a couple really nice shocks on the front tire, but that don't help your bum at all when you hit a little pothole. And longer rides, I'm talking 15 to 20 minutes or more, you start getting a little sore. So I'm excited to put the new seat on. They also sell those. They'll be linked below as well. I had mentioned the wooden seat. This is what actually comes on the back of the bike. No frame, no pad. You get this on the back. I'm sure there's a picture of it on the website installed. And it was probably the easiest thing to take off. It's just 4 bolts to reinstall a new seat. If you get this bike and you like what you see in this video, you have to understand that you can't be afraid to wrench on things. You're going to get it separately. They're not shipping this bike in one piece. You have to assemble about half of, maybe 40 to 30% of the bike is unassembled. It's really the front end that you have to be okay to wrench on. I didn't really struggle with it. I just took the process step by step. I enjoyed the process. Probably the hardest thing was getting the front fork on by myself because it is heavy. I eventually got it though, and so the same goes with all of the accessories. If you want to...
Why there's no cup holders, I don't understand. Yeah,
so Hopsco, make some cup holders. We'll be your first customer because it needs cup holders. When we're going to the park and we got our bottles of water and stuff, man, poor Amelia sitting on the back has to be our cup holder. So this is really cool though. I am excited to put this on, but I left it out so I could show you guys this is the process. If you want the cool accessories like the side runners, you're going to install them. So let's talk about the kickstand too, because most bikes you'll notice they have a one side kickstand and then the bike leans on it. This one has the dual or the fork style, kind of like a motorcycle style kickstand. And it's pretty much necessary because if you have kids, they cannot just climb up on the side of this by themselves and get on. I have to pick them up and put them on. I'm sure if I stood here and held this really sturdy, my 6-year-old could climb up and get on just fine. But like my 2-year-old, I gotta plop him on. So you have to have a system to hold up the bike to put the kids on. My wife says she wishes it was a bit more sturdy. Actually, that was one of the harder things to install too. And the only complaint that I have about it is listen to this, and I could easily devise, I'm just gonna wrap it with some foam or a pool noodle or something so it doesn't do this. You ready? Listen. Oh, that metal just banging on the metal. So what I find myself doing every time I get the bike down off of this stand is I just keep my foot on the little hook here and let it ease up. But I am definitely going to put like a black pool noodle on there so that it doesn't just kind of keep doing that. Hey, let's talk about the actual ride itself. This thing is a very smooth, comfortable ride. I love riding it on road, sidewalk, gravel. It's all good. It gets a little bit bumpy when I'm taking it on grass, but because of the fat tires, it handles it extremely well. I personally am just in love with it. It's one of my favorite things that I can do with my kids. I love going on these family outings, and Abby hops on the black bike and I got the kids on here.
I wonder if I can fit on that bike.
You on the back?
Yeah.
I've wondered myself as well. 450 pounds, I think we can, we're right there. We should be okay.
We're under that,
yeah.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
we're not even 400 pounds together.
Actually, if I took this framing off, this back frame, it would probably be an extremely comfortable ride. I would imagine you could sit all the way in the back and...
All right, we're only 300 pounds.
Together, yes. We...
Sitting here doing the math.
Now you got me, the gears are turning. I'd like to see if all 4 of us could fit on this bike.
No, I could not fit back there with the kids.
You could sit here, then Amelia, then Daniel.
No way.
Well, at least for a minute.
I am way bigger than that.
For a minute, just to say we did it.
No.
It's fun though. I love putting the kids on the bike. We go get some ice cream. Abby's on her black bike with the backpack on because that's the cup holder, right? And we go have fun family outings, and that's the whole point of this. No, it's okay.
My bike goes.
Oh no.
Hold on. Okay, there we go.
We trying it?
I'm probably stuck forever.
Okay, we good? Here we go.
Like, oh, my hips. Yeah, no way. I can fit one child.
You ready?
Ready.
Wait, okay, here. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hold on. Just before I forget, it does have a headlight and it does function enough for other people to see you, but I do not recommend doing a lot of night riding with this headlight.
Does it have a tail light?
Yeah, it does have back here. I can't remember if it's a functional brake light. I think it is.
Yeah. I ride behind you most of the time.
Are you ready? Brakes?
Yep.
Yeah. That's a very nice feature, having a functional brake light as well. I feel safe on this with the kids, extremely, with that bar especially. It's just really fun. The side steps say they have an 80-pound weight limit each.
No, whoops.
So, I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm trying to hit all the big nails on the head of information for you guys, but at the end of the day, is it, you know, a really good product or not? And I'm just blown away by the quality of this overall. They've missed the mark on a couple things, which we mentioned in this video, but man, when we get the kids on it and we're just out having a fun time, whether it's a cold day or a hot summer day, it just is a really good time. It's a fun adventure, even if we're just going for a ride with no destination in mind. It's just fun to get out and get on this thing and get some fresh air. The kids love it, I love it, Abby loves it, the whole family loves it, and I think that's what it's all about. So Hopsco knocked it out of the park with this one. They did a really good job. I'm sure that a lot of people are going to buy this summer because I see ads for this thing on Facebook all the time, and that's actually what got me hooked on it. And I was hooked for months until I finally made it happen. So I'm so glad that we have it. If you guys are in love with it, we'll have it linked in the description box below. I want to say a massive thanks to God for blessing us with the time to jump in front of the camera and share this experience with you. And a massive thanks to our Patreon supporters, because we couldn't do what we do as often as we do without your insanely awesome support. We actually have a couple more bike videos on our channel. This is the only like family bike, but we've got some others if you're more of an individual rider. We'll have a hand-picked video popping up right about now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye.